So I was gonna follow.
Well, we're not setting anything up anymore. We're gonna do this. Okay, so PG admin, when it's running correctly, you will have the list of databases on the left, including countries is the one that I made. And I can do queries in this query editor. The query editor is an area for me to write in some code, including these queries, but it's gonna save these queries in a history for me if I want, in a query history. But I'm also gonna write these down in our notes. So we have been taking notes in VS Code. So I'm gonna need a couple of places to write down. So the first query we're going to talk about is select from. Select is going to highlight which column headers, so which sets of data or pieces of data, or we can think of it as the key value pairs, which key value pairs we want to look at. And then from looks at which table we're pulling that data from. So first up, we're going to use the all query. Select all the column headers using this little splat operator here, star or shift 8 on your keyboard. From country. And country is the name of the table itself. Countries are the instances in the table of country, or the class of country, because Pascal case is uppercase and singular, and so the entries will be lowercase and plural. So let's take this. And when I run this code, I get all of this information back, which didn't change for you because I'd actually run it a little bit earlier. Sorry about that. But down here is a bunch of info for us to look at, and it's a little bit small. Let me know if I need to increase the size on this. All right, I'll take silence as I don't need to increase the size on this. First up, we have this column on the left. And what's in this column on the left over here?
Numbers, integers.
Integers. And if we're going to guess, because it doesn't have a name or anything, what is this column on the left over here?
Primary key.
Primary key. Say it with me. Primary key.
Primary key.
Primary key. Good. Then we have something called code. I didn't come up with code here. Your guesses as to what this code is?
It's just like three-digit or a three character of like an abbreviation of the country.
Yeah, and then we have this column header called name. Any guesses what this column header of name does?
Gives you the full name of the country.
Yeah, all right. Let's keep this ball rolling. We got continent. Pretty self-explanatory. We have region. A little bit more specific than continent, isn't it? We have, oh, this is cool, surface area. The Netherlands only has 41,000 surface area. That's interesting. What are we going to guess that this unit is a reference to?
Square footage?
Not square footage. The rest of the world doesn't use feet.
Oh, wait.
Oh, that's right.
Kilometers.
Probably kilometers, yeah.
Why we gotta be different?
Why we gotta be different? Independence year.
We're so special.
The year of their independence.
Cool. A third.
I don't know what that means.
From which other country?
Good question.
Good old Britannia.
Oh, is that for everybody?
Well,
Nah.
it's not everybody, but
I was gonna say, I was like, I don't think like
Most
FBA
likely.
about a third of them though did.
We don't have Independence Day where I'm from.
Yeah, probably because your country's like 15,000 years old.
And never been colonized, probably one of the few.
Cool. All right. So if I want to know something about, if I want to just see any of these column headers, what can I do to this query? Any guesses to get just one column header? I just want to see the names of the different countries.
Did you like select name from country?
Hell yeah. And what this query does is it sends information to the database itself. And the database itself, that structure of the database, actually has a code reader inside of it where it reads SQL code, and it has its own algorithms associated with retrieving data that you're looking for. So these queries take up literal time and space because they actually will, like, the database has to go through all of the data, all of the electrons, the magnetic up and downs, and figure out what things to send back to you. And so these queries are important. So select name from country. All right. I'm going to move this over here so I can see both things. But it also gave us this on the left. What are these called?
Remarque.
Primary keys. If you say it funny, you won't forget it. All right. That is select and from. Select can take multiple items, like life expectancy is not how you spell that. Life expectancy. And that gives us some really clear information. This says, hey, if I need to know the life expectancy of all the countries, and I just want to know their names, I don't need all the other data, I'll just tell you, select name and life expectancy from country. All right, and if I forgot what my column headers were and I want to take a look at everything, what do I do?
Can you select splat? I don't know.
Exactly. All right, there's a bunch of other ones in here. Does anybody else want to give me a try? Give this a try.
I'm sorry if you went over this already. Where do you get the raw data from? Like how you
The raw data should be loaded up on your guys' PG admin already. If not, we'll do that together. But it's coming from this file. This raw data comes from somewhere else though.
Okay. So in the real world, you'll just have to like upload it to this and then do all the queries and whatnot.
Yeah, so in the real world, we'll be making our own data.
Okay.
Or using someone else's data set that like we pay them for or something like that.
Okay.
Like Facebook makes all their own data. Instagram makes all their own data. Google uses other people's sites to make data. That's where the real money is making your own data.
Got it.
All right, cool. Somebody choose a column header for me to work with.
Local name.
Cool. The character set doesn't even have these. That's fun. Alrighty. Questions about select from, hit me.
Is it easy to dump Excel files to that app?
You can get, yes, there are ways to export your Excel file into a SQL file. So yes, you can totally do that. Sorry, not where. We need limit. Limit is a keyword. Any guess what it does?
Limits what you see.
And it only accepts numbers as arguments. Let's do life expectancy again. I'm going to drop from down a line, by the way. When you're doing more than a select from, it's proper in SQL to do multiple lines. And keywords in SQL are all caps. Modern SQL can totally let you run it without all caps. This is just like a holdover from old SQL where it required all caps for the keywords. So limit, let's say 5. Look at that.
So the first 5 primary keys.
The first 5 primary keys. Good job.
Population size, is that a number?
Say it one more time.
About if you use it on population.
Okay, give me 1 second. Say
Yeah,
you
what-
want to do the same query just with population.
Yeah, what he means by the number for argument is you're asking essentially how many primary keys you want to see. If you want to see 5 or 55 or 1005.
Yeah, I can't tell it according to its, give me the returns according to its population because we're actually talking to a whole table,
Yeah.
not one instance. So I can't ask for one instance the number of times of its population. It's only still one instance. So that would be like asking, can we get America back 330 million times? So let's just check population as a header though. Cool. And Cody just pointed out, how is this organized?
By key.
All right. Any questions about limit? Kind of straightforward.
Is there a reason why in your query the word name is in red, whereas on the syllabus it's white?
Yeah, name is a protected term in SQL, but it also happens to be a column header, and so it's working like a column header. There are ways to use its like keyword in SQL if we needed to, though. It might cause problems that our column header and the keyword are the same thing, though. All right, that is limit. Where allows us to filter data. It does not show. It does not show us data that doesn't, it's double negative, match the filter. It only shows us data that does match the filter. And so where is really similar. It takes a key term. Let's do, instead of limit, we'll do where, I don't know, population is greater than, let's say, 1 million. That's most countries, I guess. Let's say greater than 100 million. That's a little bit better. So according to this data set, there are only 10 countries that have more than 100 million people in them. And can anyone figure out what time frame this data set is from? That'll be a stretch challenge. Okay, never mind. That's where. So where is going to take an argument of like one of the column headers and then some sort of like filter or numerical value that goes with it. So for numbers, it's going to be a numerical value, but where can also work with strings. Let's take this down real quick. And when where works with a string, we are going to assign we're going to use the assignment operator, but it works like a comparison operator. We're going to use a single equals is what I'm trying to get at. So let's do government form is one of the weird like column headers that exist in this data set. Where government form is equal to monarchy. Oh. Oh, right. Single quotes only. Name population where government form equals monarchy. If you're confused as to where that information is coming from, I can always add government form to my selection of data set. And now we can see the government form being monarchy. Is that how you spell republic? That's not how you spell republic. Isn't that how you spell republic?
Yeah, you had BILC.
There we go. Lots of republics out there. According to this, there's 122 republics out there. Hmm.
Because line 103. I don't think it is. Oh, yep.
Something like that. All right. So that's how you get exact strings. In database queries, exact strings are almost never what you get. So we have something in for database queries called like. Like looks for pieces of data or data sets that will activate a Boolean value, a lot like where, a lot like a filter would or a conditional statement would, but it's looking for anything that can activate it, even if it's not if there's more stuff available beyond what we're saying. And it like also has access to something called the wildcard operator. So let's do a kind of a new group here. We'll do name and region. And country where region is like wildcard operator is the percentage sign in SQL. We're going to say America. How many countries are in one of the Americas? Looks like 27. All right, I'm going to take a pause right here. Any questions about select from, where, or like?
So can you do multiple where or like?
Yeah. There are a few ways to stack information. Generally speaking, you can do an AND operator, which I think I'm not going over right now. You can do an AND operator, which will take where this set of population and some other thing. So we could say like where it says the region is like America and the continent is South America, which I guess I can do right now. So we had 27 earlier. Now we only have 14. We have Argentina, Bolivia, Brazil, Chile, Ecuador, Falkland Islands, Guyana, Colombia, Paraguay, Peru, French Guiana. Oh, I don't know how to pronounce those two things differently. French Guinea, French Guiana, Suriname, Uruguay, Venezuela.
So you can have the percent anywhere.
Well, the percent, if I put this percent in front of the S here, it would probably not return anything. Because there's nothing that precedes South in our continents, in our continent database. It would be looking for anything that precedes South in our continent database. But the wildcard represents any and all strings that might come after or before something.
So you're asking things that come after south then.
Yeah. You can have a region that are the Americas and anything that's like that's south or something like that. Cool. Great question on the AND operator. A couple of things I'm not going over right now. I'm not going over the OR operator, and I'm not going over the NOT operator currently. All right, let's take this back to something a little bit easier. I want to look at life expectancy again, or maybe something that's helpful. Let's check this out. I want to look at name, and I want to look at something like some sort of numerical value I can order things by. So what do you want? Name, life expectancy, GNP, their independence year.
Square footage or the area?
Square footage. What do we call that here?
Area?
Surface area.
Well, surface area.
We can have a name for it, but the database only has certain names for its column headers, and it only knows things by their column headers. It doesn't actually know that this has anything to do with real surface area. It just knows this is a place, this is a set of data that I'm looking at called, and you guys called it surface area.
But I only want places that start with the letter J.
All right, I'm going to do something different, but we could do that. What operator would you use for places that start with the letter J?
The percent sign and then the J.
Yeah. So would you where name is like J wildcard? And you're welcome to do that during your challenges. Okay, so I want to look at surface area, and I'm going to use a new thing called order by. And we're going to order by surface area. So what are we currently ordered by? Cody pointed it out earlier.
The key.
The primary key. And order by is going to take over and reorder the data sets. But what's weird is that our primary key didn't actually change here. Our primary key, this is just showing like the set of data. I guess that isn't actually primary key then. That is just the rows that we're looking at. All right. Is this the biggest country in the world?
No.
Probably smallest.
It is definitely the smallest country in the world. So order by did what for ordering things?
Ascending order.
Ascending order. Yeah. Sorry. Okay, so order by reorganizes the data according to whatever rule it was given. And if you want to override the ascending order, we can give it the rule of descending. Biggest country in the world?
Mother Russia.
Yeah, bigger than Antarctica, which is, like weird. But I guess it's like on the bottom of the globe and it's a Mercator projection. So what are you gonna do? I mean, it's weird that it's bigger than the giant ice wall surrounding the disk of the planet of Earth, Some of you don't know that joke and that wasn't funny. Some of you know that joke and it was very funny. And some of you know that joke and it still wasn't funny. Just say it. All right. One more I'm going to introduce to y'all. As creates an alias / temporary column header as creates a an alias or temporary column header that we can use for other queries. This one is a little bit more complex, but this is where the money of SQL really starts coming into play. It's how you take data sets and combine them together to do analysis of that data. This is what my little brother does for a living, actually. We are going to select name. We'll do surface area, and we'll do population.
Gotta swap the U and L in population.
Thank you, thank you. From country. Where population doesn't equal 0. And this is kind of, I guess, implied. Population. Sheesh, man. Population divided by surface area is going to be saved as population density. And I need area on this one. Right, because population divided by surface area is exactly how many people per square unit of whatever that we're dealing with. So I guess we'll find out whether this is like square meters or square kilometers here. And so this as needs to be capitalized. As is the keyword for this entire line here. Instead of being here on the left, it's here in the middle. Yeah, okay. So I think I actually have to do this for this one.
Does that need to be capitalized country?
It does not need to be. Oh. Let's just do this real quick. Doesn't like that.
Can you just do greater than 0?
Yeah, let's do greater than 0. Okay. Okay.
I think the as has to be above your from statement.
I think you're right. Still doesn't like it.
So it'd be like the as statement would be on line 2, from would be on line 3, and where would be the last line.
Got it. Thank you, whoever. Thank you, Daniel. And thank you. I think, what, you're looking at the syllabus there?
Yep.
Yeah, I am.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Where? That definitely seems better.
Try to swap lines 3 and 4.
All right, let's take a look at that syllabus real quick. Ah, got it.
Comma.
Comma. Oof. Yes, because it's making a new column header and I have to have a comma to highlight that actual column header. All right, and so we created this new thing called population density. This is totally new. I can prove it. Hey, Echo, how are you? So we created a new column header, which is a new set of data that doesn't exist in our database, but it's a set of data that's being returned to us because we're doing logic on this data. Okay, why is this helpful? What's the point of this? I'll unshare real quick. This is everything. The ability to analyze data. I unshared. The ability to analyze data and return that data from our database instead of doing these calculations on the front end is everything. I don't have to come up with a new algorithm. I don't have to iterate through this data set. I don't have to do any of that. I can let the database do all of that work and then just give me the data I want to show or work with. I don't have to learn all the algorithms. I don't have to learn all the different kinds of loops and iterations. And this is kind of the thing that gets me a little peeved about whiteboarding today with like FANG groups and that kind of stuff, when they're like, well, we want you to know how to do all these really complex algorithms. The vast majority of those algorithms are built into databases. And as long as you know the query, that's it. And you don't need to know the query. You just need to know what you want. So you just Google the query you want. Or if you know the idea that you're looking for, you can Google that and see what other people are discussing. You can also find the fastest way to get that info. This is one of those things that really throws me for a little angry loop. But anyway, my point that I want to make to you all is as you develop, as you grow as developers, focus on getting the right info back from your database before you try processing that info on the front end. Cool? All right. That is where we've gone today. There is something called null that we have not gone over. And there are something called aggregate functions and group by that we have not gone over in this lecture. But I'm going to turn it over. I'm going to introduce the challenges to you. Would you guys rather do the challenges first and then take a break and do Kahoot? Or would you guys rather do that at the end of the day? Or would you rather do Kahoot now?
I think it'd be better to do the challenges first.
Since it's fresh?
Yeah.
All right. Well, congratulations. We made it through.